I'm the Beginning Crafter. Welcome to another WIPTube video. I didn't manage to work too much in January because I was away for over 2 weeks and then I got sick, so I also couldn't focus too much. But I did stitch something. So first, the main focus piece for this year, mini Marvellous Garden, which this month didn't actually get as many stitches as you would expect from main focus piece, because I only stitched 885 stitches here. But like I said, mainly due to travel and sickness, I couldn't focus more on it, but hopefully February will be better for me and I will be able to stitch quite a lot. I didn't progress much when it comes to percentages, so there's nothing to like talk about too much, and there's not much of a change in the picture. I mean, there are those like 2 squares that I kind of started filling, and I think I did like fill a bit more there compared to last year. But like I said, it wasn't the best month for me, and also for mini Marvellous Garden. That's why it's not so not as much progress as I hoped before, and I hope I won't repeat such a month anytime soon. Then I've got Envy, which was my New Year start, and I'll have a video on it, like how I started Envy. It is quite dark in here, so I'm not sure if you can see all the differences between the greens, but there are a lot of green stitches, just of different green shades. It looks a little bit better in the close-up. There are quite a lot of white spaces because I did not prepare well, and there are a lot of colors I don't have, but I still managed to do the challenge of 24 hours of stitching, and that will be that's the name of the video. That's again the challenge that I have when I start one of the 7 Deadly Sins series. I published the Avarice video when I started it, and now for Envy. That's also something I created just to show how I prepped, started, and how much I managed to do in 24 hours. And I stitched in January 2036 stitches, and that's 0.85%. So as you can see, not a lot for the whole time, like compared to the whole picture. But it is much more than what I stitched for mini Marvellous Garden. So, you know, quite a progress, because I started from 0 and now there is something, there's a lot of something, but compared to the whole, not too much. And the last project that I can show you was actually something that I focused on very much, is the sweater, the Ruska Pullover. And I finished both sleeves. I have the yoke. The only thing now is the body, and I swear I had no idea how long it takes to stitch a body. It is a motivation, I guess, for me to try to lose a bit of the circumference of my body so that there aren't that many stitches in a row. But yes, it is it takes a lot of time to stitch. Before going on my trip, I had most of it done, like most of what you can see. And I took the photos and I sent them to the designer because I wasn't sure, like, when I come back, there would still be like 2 days or 3 days worth of stitching, but I knew that I wouldn't be able to finish the whole sweater. So I sent the photos just in case, so that she had them already. And when I came back, it turned out that she had a new idea for it. So actually we have even more time to finish the sweater, which is great, because I have 2 more months to stitch the body. I don't think I will need the 2 months, but I felt like I need a break, just because the body is quite, you know, boring. It is stockinette stitch with like 2 panels on the sides, so it's not just knit in the round. There is something else going on, but there are a lot of stitches, so it's just boring. And you know, before going on a trip it was pretty intense knitting, so I decided to take a break from it for a few days, and then I come back and finish and have the sweater done. When I had my doubts about sleeves because I thought they were too short, pre-blocking. After I sent my photos to the designer, she said that actually no, they are the correct length, because the sweater wasn't designed to have a full-length sleeve. So I feel much better now, knowing that. Somehow I did not catch that earlier, that it's not supposed to be a full-length sleeve. So I was quite worried. I mean, I knew that with blocking it would get longer, but I don't yet know how much longer it would be. So it was a little bit worrying. Now I know that it's fine, so I can just calmly complete the rest of the sweater. And I love it. Like, the more I see it done, the more I like it. I still feel that it would be better with just one color yarn, and that's the way it was designed. It was my my choice to choose an ombre yarn, and I love the colors. I don't necessarily like the effect of when I had to break the yarn and then attach new yarn. The colors don't necessarily match, and that's something of a peeve of mine. So I guess if I get to stitch another, for example the newer version of the pattern, I think I'll do it with just one color yarn, so that it looks absolutely perfect. But it's a cool design, I really like it. And well, now I know that probably the design will be available more in like autumn part of the year, something like September. So there's still time to learn to knit if you want to do it and can't knit yet. And I also, when I was on a trip, I did knit something, but because I was on a trip and I was on vacation mode, I did not think to take a picture of it. It wasn't much, it was just a knitted square of fabric, because in the hotel where I stayed in Argentina, it was Kosten Eike Hotel in El Calafate. And one of the things that you could do in the hotel was, I think it was called Cuadritos de Amor, like squares of love, and they had knitting needles, they had yarn, and all you had to do was to knit a square of whatever size and leave it to them, and then they would make it into like a blanket or a duvet and give it to someone in need, and they would just patchwork all the squares together. And I thought that was a great idea. I think we stayed two nights in Calafate, so I managed to knit a square. I think it was like 30 stitches wide. I don't remember how many rows it had. Pretty sure it had more than 30 to make it into a square. And it was fun to go back to knitting and knit something different than a sweater, and knowing that I did not forget on holidays how to knit, and I can come back to knitting and doing other projects. So now, because I need that break from the sweater, I think I'll go back to knitting Bloom Between the Lines a little bit, and then knit this as well. So hopefully when I do my February WIPTube, like at the end of February, to show you what I've done during the month, I will be able to post both progress on the sweater, but also on the Bloom Between the Lines wrap, and hopefully some other projects. So there'll be more to show. If you liked the video, click the thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have anything to say. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye!